Hi guys! Back with another video. I know it's been a while. Finals have been kicking my butt for school, so I decided to take a little break from studying to make little Haro ornaments for the holidays. Those are they're so cute. So this is a little candy cane. This is supposed to be a fox. And then this is just a little holographic. Well, it's done with the Armor Komodo ones, but you can do it with any of the candy. It's supposed to represent like the candy colored paint job, but you can do it with any of the other paint jobs. But these are just some of the few ideas that I had. So I'm gonna show you how I made them, and let's go do that. So what we will be doing is priming the Haros completely in red. So all the hands, the feet, any of the exposing parts, we're gonna prime all those in red. After we got done priming two of the Haros in red, we're going to take one of them and we're going to use red terracotta and charred brown. So we're going to want to do like a 3 to 4 mix where we're going to use 2 parts of the charred brown and 1 part of the terracotta orange, or the terracotta red, or red terracotta, sorry. Because we want that nice dark, rich, reddish brown. And then we're going to be doing the backs of the tip on a little bit of an angle, because when I looked at Fox pictures, they actually have the back of their ear has like a horizontal black patch on it. So we're going to be imitating that a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just kind of getting close. And then we're going to go on the inside of the ears just to give it that nice, a little bit of the brown touch, but still keeping majority of it red. And the last part we're going to paint with this brown are the insides of the Haru, and just to be careful, you want to try and keep it at a low PSI for this part. And then the last part for the Fox Haro, we're going to be taking an off-white. We're going to be spraying the underbelly to kind of show that when I looked at the Fox pictures, they have a nice kind of creamish underbelly, so I thought an off-white would be nice. Because pure white, you know, they're out in the woods. I was trying to go a little bit realistic, but kind of staying along the interpretation route. So as you see here, I tried to draw in little tufts with my airbrush, but in the end I end up going over them because they didn't turn out that great, and I felt like I was trying to go in between like realistic kind of and like, I'm not saying cartoony, but more room for interpretation. So where we're just gonna draw kind of like a nice little hump line to show the underbelly ending. And just be very careful when you're spraying along the edges of where we painted the brown. It's okay if a little bit gets in there, but you want to try and keep that to a minimum. And see how I went over the the little patches to make them more smooth. And for the ears, we're just going to go ahead and do a little tiny white spot just in the middle. Alright, now we're going to go on to how we're going to paint the Armor Komodo one, or candy color, whichever one you would like to do. So we're gonna, either one, you're gonna have to start out with a really dark, glossy black, and we're gonna paint the entire Haro in this nice, shiny, glossy black. Alright, now for the candy cane. What we had to do was we closed up the Haro where we put his little ears down and we stuck in his little feet, and what we're gonna take is this really thin masking tape that Tamiya sells. Or I don't know if any other brand sells this, but this is specifically the Tamiya one. You're able to bend it in curves and have it still lay flat on the piece, which is exactly what we want. So we're just gonna go around the Haro to get our basic outline for how we want to lay down the candy cane. And then what we're going to do is we're going to follow that same pattern, and we're going to do that twice to make a nice thick line for the red candy cane part. Otherwise this will be a little bit too thin. And if you want to do one more layer, I did 3 layers, but that's completely up to you. I thought that was just the right thickness. You can also do other crazy patterns with this stuff, but it's wonderful tape. It looks just like that. So then this is where I wanted to showcase the Armor Komodo paints besides the tutorial one, or how to use them for the very first video I did on them. And it's the same process. I'll put a link in the description if you wanted to learn how to use them. Actually trying it on a kit for once was really awesome. It was much easier to work with them the second time around because I had a better idea on how to use them. And if you notice, I am touching it with my gloves, so the pigments stick really well to the model kit. So you don't have to worry about the pigments coming off if you accidentally touch it. You're able to touch these pigments no problem. In fact, sometimes if you do rub it in with your fingers, it can buff it a little bit better. I'm just gonna put away the last one. Oh, freaking hell. Yeah, so don't do what I did, or always close it and then pick it up, not the other way around, otherwise you'll have a lovely mess. And now I believe I took the Phantom color, the Phantom chroma color, and I'm putting them all on the arms, and I'm going to put this on the legs as well. And then the inside of the Haro where they attach, just to kind of give it a different feel, because I didn't want it all the same. It might be a little bit too much if it was all the same, so I wanted to bring up a little color separation. Even though I had put down the other one prior to this, I didn't really find it too big of a deal where the colors would, you know, mix together. So it's good to know that you're able to put down one of these and then work on another part. Even though it's a powder, it worked together pretty nice. You might be thinking, I have dirty gloves, it has to transfer onto the other pigments, but no, it works out pretty great. He's so what a little cute little guy. Alright, now be careful, careful. There we go. That's how you're supposed to pick it up, not what I did. The next part we're going to be doing is painting on the little ribbons on the arms. I tried to be as careful as possible, and I just did this with regular white paint. If it turns out a little messy, you know, that's okay. You can, if you wanted to, you can go back with the red and clean it up, but I was like, you know, if it's a little messy, that's okay. So then for the last part, we're gonna use Tamiya White along with a little bit of the thinner from Mr. Color. Now that's technically supposed to be used for lacquer, but what's weird is somehow the Tamiya paint actually gets thinned by it, even though it's technically quote-unquote an acrylic. So I found that to be very interesting. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint our candy cane Haro all in white. Unfortunately, I lost the satisfying footage of me peeling back to reveal the red. I know it's a real big shame, but trust me, once you peel back that tape, oh, it's so satisfying to watch. And then you just let him dry for a little bit. And I top coated everything with a nice gloss clear from Mission Model paints. You don't have to use Mission Model, I just didn't want to break out the Alcalad gloss because I didn't want to put on my respirator and it was a bit of, didn't want to deal with it. But any clear coat that's gloss I would recommend for this because Christmas ornaments are supposed to be nice and shiny. So that's the tops are all top coated. And I do that for all of them. So now we're gonna get on to the fun part. Now this, you're gonna need to go to the hobby store and pick up these little baby Christmas ornaments where you can normally find them by the little Christmas tree displays, because what you can do is you can decorate it with those. But we're gonna take out the tops, and they're really easy to pull out. You just pull them out. We're gonna need some wire cutters to then clip the ends of them, otherwise they'll be too tall. You wanna leave about a good, maybe like halfway down to where the first bump is. And this is the most difficult part of this process, is trying to get this wire to cooperate to get them into the top of the Haro. Because what's nice is the Haro has a little cap on the top, and it makes the perfect little hole for you to stick in where the peg would normally go for the ornament hanger. So we're just gonna pinch that. And I made that a little bit too tight. You'll see that it won't actually stick in there and it's just gonna fall out. So what I did was I stuck my wire into the hole again, opened it up a little bit more, which was able to then kind of catch hold of the inside of that peg hole. Yeah, see how the prongs are going the opposite directions? Yeah, you want that so it will actually attach kind of snugly into the pegs. Just be careful as much as possible, otherwise you will scratch the paint because the metal is very sharp. So you want to line it up in the direction the way I have the little hole facing. Otherwise, if you turn it in the opposite, or turn it where the hole is facing along horizontal with the Haro, your little Haro won't line up correctly on the tree. So then I'm just gonna take some super glue and just dab it on the middle part of the wire where the glue is then able to run down into the hole. And you don't need a lot, just like one drop of glue will do just fine. And if you miss, that's okay. So for that, I accidentally got it on the rim, but I'm gonna do one more just to make sure it gets nice and solid. Now you're gonna wanna let these sit for a little bit before actually trying to do this next part, which is the ribbon. So the ribbon, I actually had to have my mom help me or show me how to do this a few times because I couldn't figure out how to tie them at the top. So you want to pull the ribbon through. You want to line up the two ends. And then you want to tuck those two ends on the back. And what you're going to do is you just essentially made a little hole for yourself. And you're going to want to take that and loop it back around, which can be kind of difficult. I had a little hard time trying to get this down. You take those two ends and then just loop them right through that hole that you made. Now don't pull tight all the way. We're gonna wanna pull tight a little bit and then pull the knot down just a tad. Then make sure when you are pulling the knot that it goes up a little bit and you just pull it tight. And to make it nice and fancy, we're gonna clip the ends of the ribbon on a diagonal, and that's it. For the little candy cane Haru, I decided to go a little bit more and add a little tiny candy cane, which I also got at the craft store. And they provide the string and everything, so I'm just going to attach it onto his arm. And I'm gonna do 2 loops just in case. 1 loop probably would be safe, but I like 2 just to be on the safe side. There we go. I'm gonna pull that tight, and then we're just gonna snip off the ends. And that's it for the little candy cane Haru. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you guys did this project yourself or if you had any other crazy ideas. These are just some of the ones that I came up with. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.